My name is Rix Ronday. I'm 21 years old. I live in the Netherlands, and I'm the team captain of the Wolf Esports Rocket League team.
Did you think you would get to this stage where you're at now when you just started playing, or was you just doing it for fun, like you was just having a laugh with your friends?
When I first got into Rocket League, I just got it because my friends forced me to buy it. They wanted to play a different game than CS:GO with me. So after some time, I finally bought the game and I started playing some games with them. At the start, I just wanted to have fun, but I'm a very competitive person. So I realized, okay, I'm worse than my friends. So I got to practice a lot, got to watch some good players, and I got to get better than them. Yeah, it takes a lot of practice to get to the point where I'm at now. I'm not sure how I did it, to be honest, because I just wanted to get better. Like something inside my body was just telling me, you gotta get better at this. Like you're enjoying this, you just want to get better. I see all these people around me that were better than me, so it's like I just want to be as good as them, really. And yeah, I don't know. At some point, I just got an offer from an organization to join their team as a substitute. And the season later, I'm their team captain and I win my first major event.
How's the gaming industry evolved in your lifetime?
I think there are a lot of changes if I compare it to when I was a kid to now. Because when I was little, I think gaming, like as far as I knew, only existed for like coming together with like my siblings or even with friends to just chill out, have some fun. Like I never knew there was like any competitive side to it, and I don't think at that time there was really a big one. But right now, like I think back in the day, if you were playing video games back in the day, I think people would say, "Oh, you're so weird. Why are you playing video games?" But now in this time, if you say I don't play video games, everyone looks at you and goes like, "Huh? You're so weird. Why don't you play video games with us?"
How do you think gaming affects like your daily life, like maybe your family, your friends?
Since gaming is obviously my job, it's affecting my life a lot. Um, Especially when I wasn't a pro yet, I had to give up like a lot of time I would usually spend with my friends because I had to put in hours, I had to practice. So on those Friday nights when they went to parties, I had to like dip out of that one. I can't go because I just wanted to play my game, want to get better at that. And my family, well, as well, like before I was a professional player, they were like really nervous. Like, is he gonna finish his school? He's spending so much time behind his PC. But once I started getting like results and showing them like, look at all this, like what I can achieve with all this gaming, like they were so supportive and they understand everything now, and they want me to just be happy, and I get really happy when I am competing.
So what makes gaming so important to you then?
I think gaming is important to me because when I started playing off, I was obviously playing with my friends and having a good time. And even when I was playing already with my friends, I was just making more and more friends playing online. You meet new people, you enjoy the time you spend together, you even add each other like after a game to play again. But for me, also a big part is that I used to play tennis at like a really high level, and I wanted to be a professional tennis player. But I was like a little kid. I was still getting injured, and I was like, I'm not sure if I can do this like for the rest of my life. Like I don't want to play a month and then get injured, and then play 2 weeks again, get injured again. So I missed like that competitive spirit, and gaming really brought that back to me as well. And it feels so nice to compete in things.
So we was talking about a standout memory, like a funny memory or whatever, just whatever comes to mind when you think, yeah, I was really happy at that point. Like I really loved that time. Like,
Yeah.
what comes to mind?
Well, I think the most standout memories for me are when I won the Gfinity Elite Series. I won it in season 2 and in season 4. And when I won it in season 2, it was probably like the biggest like change of my life. Because the season before, I was the sub for that team. I got brought in like halfway during the season because they thought, oh, the team is not doing too great. We're going to finish bottom. Let's just try and see what the sub can do. And I proved them that I was good enough to be the team captain for the season after. And then I picked up 2 players and we went on to go undefeated and win the season after. Like no one expected us to win. So that was like an amazing memory. And then of course to repeat like a victory, that's one of the hardest things to do. Like after you win once, winning again is so much harder. So doing that in season 4, like that's I think that's my 2 happiest memories.
So, like, what interests you about playing competitive gaming?
Beating someone is like one of the best feelings I can experience. Like the feeling of winning is just such a nice feeling for me. Like there's a fire inside of my body that just wants to have this feeling all the time. So having like competitive gaming, I can queue up whenever I want. I can get this feeling whenever I want. It's really nice for me to have that. If somebody was really passionate about becoming a pro player in whatever game or just in any sense, just following their dreams, I'd say if that is truly your dream, you do anything to achieve that dream, and you will.
Like how is gaming different to other media in the way that it brings people together? Do you think?
I think with media, like social media, like Twitter, you don't really get to know each other as well. Like you post maybe a picture or you make like a tweet and you can reply to that. But when you're playing video games with someone, you experience like a bunch of feelings like happiness or maybe even anger that you're losing together. And if you're trying to win, you're obviously talking to each other, trying to give each other a call out. So you get to know each other like way better, in my opinion, because you really get to see like different sides of someone.
How do you think these community-based games and like bringing people together? How do you think it's helped you?
When I was still in school, like school was kind of stressful for some people. For others, it's a breeze. For me, it was easy to get good grades, but it wasn't easy to like enjoy my time at school. So then when I got home and I could play video games and I could meet all these people from over the world and I'd have such a good time, that would just really brighten up my day. And I think it does that for a lot of people as well.
What is it like running a team, like, and what skills do you think you've developed being a part of that experience?
So in my career, I've made like a bunch of teams, and every single time you make a new team, you learn something new about how you should approach certain things. But you also learn that people are always going to be different. Someone is going to hate you for doing a certain thing, or someone else is going to love you for doing the exact same thing. So for me, it really is helped me as well with like creating a good bond with my teammates and realizing what is important to them, what is important to me, because we're gonna be good friends at the end of the day. We're gonna play a lot together, but we're also gonna be serious with each other. So we gotta know each other like properly.
Being in this like gaming world, really, do you think it's really like improved your life? Like on it, like you've got to travel around the world and things. You got to meet new people. You should just think in general, it's really helped you out. Like
It's something I wanted to do as like my job when I was a kid. And I never thought I was gonna, if I'm really honest. I always thought I'm gonna study, this is how my life is gonna look like. But then that one opportunity arose. And since then, my entire life has been different. I've traveled to a bunch of countries to play in tournaments. I even went to Dallas in America to play a tournament where I got top 16 in the world. So it's like a life changer. And for me, that's exactly what I was looking for in my life. It's perfect.
for you, do you think it's been like a financially like viable career path for you?
I think being a pro player can be financially viable, and for me it is, but you have to be good enough for it to be financially viable. That you can be like sort of a semi-pro or even a professional player where you get paid enough money, but it's not enough money if you're my age. But for me, with what I'm getting, I'm viable.
Do you do anything else, or do you just solely concentrate yourself on gaming and like kind of like publicity and marketing? Like,
Yeah, I fully focus on gaming and my esports career. I play the game for like I think at least 7 hours a day. I need to like, well, I don't have to, but I want to play around 80 to 100 hours per 2 weeks because then I really feel like I'm playing my best game. So that's what I'm aiming for, and that just takes up all my time. But I'm happy that it takes up all my time. I wouldn't want any other way.
is there anything that you want to talk about that you think would just really help people, and like, or anything about your personal career that I haven't like kind of covered yet that you just think would be important for people to hear?
Um, Maybe what important is for people to hear is that when they're still young, I don't know what kind of age will be watching, but when they're still young and they are maybe passionate about gaming, like you can't just say, okay, I'm going to stop my school, I'm going to fully focus on gaming. But I think it's important for these people that they do talk to their parents about like their dreams and stuff. Because I remember that at the start, my parents were not that supportive, but that was not because they were against gaming, it was because they didn't know what was going on. What can they expect from their kid who is actually doing like a good education? Like they just want me to finish that, and I have. But I should have been a bit more clear about what I was doing on the side, so that they had a more of a relaxed feeling and could understand better where I was coming from. I feel like we've come a long way since the start of gaming. You also have things like virtual reality games now, and every single time when they release a new game, it has like better so-called graphics, right? Like the game looks more realistic, it looks beautiful, everybody wants to like see it. And I really think that also with the introduction of virtual reality, that a lot of people that never heard of games, it's suddenly in the newspaper, they read about it and they're like, that's weird, why would people want to do that? But it gets them curious. and getting someone curious will maybe even get them enough to like do some research. And when they do some research, they're on the social medias, and then they're following gaming, and maybe one day they're like, okay, I want to try this, and then you got another gamer in another community.